Hey YouTube, is there a practical use for glow filament? To glow or not to glow? That is the question. Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Will. So I had some of the glow filament left over, the white, which turns blue, left over, and I said, well, I'm gonna print something big. I'm gonna try to use it all up because I have no use for it. So I found this beautiful little skull, as you can see, and so I said, yeah, and it printed beautiful. The supports all come off and it just cleaned up nice. I floated it with UV light for an hour and it lasts now 5 minutes. I guess because it's not dense enough and it has so many holes that it just doesn't hold a charge. 5 minutes, that's it. Anyway, so I feel that the glow filament's just printing black. That's the best color right there, black for everything. Hey YouTube, if you're a subscriber or even if you're not, I added a community tab or post tab underneath my home page. That's where you'll find me all the time, and it also allows the community to talk to each other. So most of you are over 40, most of you have a printer, and most of you love doing it. So why aren't we talking to each other and figuring out ways to print better items? And that's what everybody seems to want. Is, we don't want most of you don't want to print dragons, and that's great because I don't want to print them anymore either. I want to print something that's useful. But I thought this was a nice video. I got some good close-ups of the layers, and I really enjoyed doing that. What's coming up for the week? Oh yeah. So back in April, mid-April, we already had bought the bamboos, and then the tariffs kicked in and the bamboo shut up, and so I looked around, and the Iligoo carbons came up, and they were fairly cheap, and I thought, well, so looking at the reviews, yeah, they got a cheap camera, they got a cheap light, but I really don't use the camera, and the lighting, I add lighting, and just like most of us, we modify our printers anyway. It's like motorcycles, you just modify it. You don't ride a stock bike. But so yeah, those come in on Wednesday. So my wife, Jen, who is also in the logo, or the intro, she's not been too much interested in moving into the onset of YouTube. It takes a little bit to get used to. That is true. Coming here on a daily basis and talk to a camera seems kind of silly, but the reaction I get from the 3D printing seniors, or I wouldn't even say seniors. I mean, 40, you're not a senior yet. You're just an adult. You still have time. I say that a lot. When you're in your 40s, you have time. So take that to heart. You have time. You need to use it. But anyway, those printers come in, and what we're going to do is we're going to test to see how long it takes my wife, Jennifer, to open up the box, set up the printer, put the filament in it, and print something. Now, they say you can open the box and be there in 15 minutes. They haven't met my wife. Now, My wife's not new to 3D printing. She knows what a slicer is and knows how to load a filament and that sort of thing. And she knows how to pick out stuff she wants to print. But she's never really physically taken it out. And let's see, if she can get it done within 15 minutes. She'll probably get pissed at me and throw something, but that's something for you to watch, right? So anyway, um, I'm going to be doing some copywriting this week. I want to try to film that if I can. I'm sure some of the information will be blurred out. I got to pay for stuff, and we'll get those copyrights started. Also, later in the week, I want to finish setting up the Amazon account and start moving into putting those files up on Amazon and getting those to kicking. What else? I closed my Shopify. It just wasn't doing anything for me, and they were just charging me more than I made. So maybe I'll go back to them. I got a whole year to, if I want to go back and open this store, but right now Shopify is not it. And then the Etsy stuff, I opened that store and closed it right away. I could see that I had no way, unless I spent $500 to $1,000 a month to get pushed up to the front. It's just another way for them to make money. So we're going to work on a new intro for the videos. Really, that's all of that. The prints. I want to go back to the glow filament one more time. I used to do custom paint, and so I would get a call from the government every now and then because what I did was hydrographics. Hydrographics is just another way of painting stuff, except you're using water as a medium to lay the paint on. The paint came in a film, and you hit it with an activator, and then you'd push through that slime of paint laying on top of the water and transfer it over to 3D objects or three-dimensional objects. So I did a lot of stuff for the government as far as satellite dishes for surface-to-air missiles, where we'd camouflage them and stuff like that. And if you've seen guns camouflaged with the paint on there, then that's hydrographics, and that's what I used to do. I did it for 15 years until I sold the company last year. But anyway, they had came to me one time before about charging ports for barracks, and they needed them to glow all night. There was no glow paint that like that, and of course, there's no way a filament, and especially if you got to charge it for hours and hours and hours, is going to last all night. So what we had used was Luminor paint. Luminor paint was a 4-layer paint where you would first lay a bus coat, which is a metallic coat that you could conduct electricity through, and you would put that first wire on that, and then you would add in the 2 other layers, which was like a peanut butter and a jelly, and then you put that, and then you put the clear coat over, which was also metallic and had another wire to it. So when you put 12 volts on it, it just lit up like a light bulb. And you can get that in 2 or 3 colors. You can look up Luminor, you can see all of that. But we wound up doing that for the government, and I went through intensive study as far as just any type of plastics that would last that long, because it would just been easier for me to do all of that instead of having to go through the Luminor and then put charging ports on it, and it had to be set up for solar on the outside of the barracks to run onto the inside for that. But that's a long story, and I'm already too far in it. How about this? PLA. Yeah, I made 10 of these for work. These little scatter panels, and they're really nice. I like them. They have I hate paint. I love black, but it just doesn't show up on camera. There you go. But they're really nice. This is for tweezers, and you can just put anything on them, and they just pop right in and out. And they're see that? They snap right in and out. But yeah, I made some for work, and each one of them took about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to print. I had 8 of them. Of course, I ran them on 4 printers, and so I had about a half a day, and all the filament, a couple, at least a roll of filament there. And I left it out in the car for 2 hours, and I came back out. It was like opening up a big crate of vinyl records that had been sitting in the sun for a while. It was so soft I could bend them. I threw them all away, and I kept this one just to show you this. So if you're printing in PLA, don't put it in your car. Yeah, that don't work very well. So I like that. What else did I have for you? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I want to just kind of touch base with you on the community page. I really think that would be something that would be great for 40 and aboves. Um, I do need more content. So if there's something that you want to see or just a question that you want to ask, please just comment below. And if you could give me a like, or if you're not subscribed and you find this kind of interesting and want to see where I'm going to go with this, please subscribe to us. Again, in a couple of days, the Elegoo Centauri carvings are coming in, and my wife's gonna open one up and try to set it up by herself, so I'm sure she'll get pissed. At least she gets pissed at me, so that'd be something to watch. Okay. In the meantime, you might have seen a couple of shorts. It seems to kind of draw traffic over to our page, and not that any of it sticks really. It's so much harder to do anything in shorts. You got to have 3 million views there. Right now we just need to get to 500 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, or 3,000 right now would be just awesome, but we're stuck at 400, 450, I guess. But maybe this video will move us along. So anyway, I don't know what I'm printing next time, YouTube, but I hope you're printing it with me, and I appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Did I wave like Forrest Gump?